Hello, YouTubes! Welcome back to James Recommends. This week, I'm going to talk about this tiny game that some students sent me. But you can get it on Steam, so you can actually check it out. And it's rough around the edges in a lot of ways, but that's okay, because what I want to talk about today is sort of the central mechanic, which I find fascinating. Because today we're going to talk about a game called Luckslinger, which is a Western platforming shooter with some interesting themes. You have a duck. It's interesting. There are lots of rhymes and luck puns in the game, but fundamentally the game is about luck. And this is what I found really interesting, because it's not just about RNG, right? It's not just about the dice rolls the computer makes, at least not having things be random. What's really interesting is all these dice rolls, all these random checks that you see in lots and lots of games. Well, in this game, there's a consumable resource called luck, and the more of it you have stored up, the more you can influence those random dice rolls. So everything from whether a windmill randomly falls on you as you try and pass by it on a stage to how much your gun scatters is dependent on the amount of luck you've accumulated and have stored up. And there are so many factors. They've done a great job at making sure this is integrated all across a lot of their levels. But what makes it really interesting is it's not only raw how much do you have, but at any point you can press a button and use half of your luck to get a really huge amount of luck for a little while. And so this balance, this consumable resource versus permanent luck bonus, is really interesting, and utilizing the concept of luck not as simply a randomization tool, but a way that you as a player can sort of weight the randomization tool is certainly something that, if you're into design, is worth checking out. Also, one of the things that I thought was a lot of fun and fascinating about this game is that the bosses in the game are also luckslingers. And that means that they have sort of the same luck magic that you do. And so you get to feel the tables turned on you when a shot that you aimed straight towards them randomly just flies up into the air, right? And so in playing this game, you kind of get to see both sides of these dice rolls that you get in every game and get to influence it. And I was surprised I haven't seen this concept more frequently, because it's a pretty simple thing, right? In almost every game, that's probably wrong, but in the majority of games, certainly, you have a lot of things which you're doing random checks for. And those random checks, adding a static plus or minus to them, it's not very difficult. The only difficult thing here is the amount of content they created for different luck situations. I found myself wanting to go through some of the levels twice to see what would have happened if I had gone through on no luck and got all the bad luck events, right? So if you're just interested in design, I mean, it's not a bad platforming shooter. Certainly, as I said, rough around the edges. But if you're into the idea and just want to see how it plays out, if you're designing things and want an interesting aspect of design to sort of cogitate on and think about, oh, how could we add this other places? Would this be interesting in other games? Then this week, James recommends Luckslinger. See y'all next week.